Hello and welcome back to our Flash series. We are in Chapter 6, Creating Basic Animation. And in this series, we're going to cover things such as classic tweens, motion tweens, shape tweens, and rotation. And a tween is essentially what happens between one state the object is in, say something is standing, to another state that object might be in, such as sitting, and the motion between the standing to the sitting are the slides, which are the tweens. Now Flash generates those tweens, so by doing that we have the appearance that an object is being animated, and I'm going to take you through different ways of creating animation. So let's get on and start that now. Well, the first thing that we want to do is to make sure we get the right file. So, File and Open. Go and locate your Flash lessons. We are in Chapter 6 and we're going to start off with this one here called Turtles. So, let's open up that. Now what you'll see is this. We've gone and done all the drawing, and we've got, as you can see, we've got different shapes, we've got overlapping possibly where they've been grouped, we've got a gradient, radial gradient in here. So you don't have to go and create these turtles, they've already been done. We're focusing on animating them, and this is where we need to come up to our timeline. Now then, here we see our turtles. We have a little turtle and we have our big turtle. And in this frame, because each of these little rectangles are frames, we've got frame 1 and we've got a great big dot in the first frame. These dots are called keyframes. The keyframe would be this object here. So the keyframe for the big turtle, this big black dot, represents this turtle shape in this position on the canvas. This great big dot, this keyframe, represents this little turtle in the current position on the canvas. Now we want to make this timeline move. So we need to put in extra frames. Now to do that, I'm going to highlight frame 60. So I just hold my left finger down and drag. I'm going to now right click and insert frame. And all of a sudden we've now got able to move this particular timeline from 1 to 60. Now I'm going to hide little turtle. And we're going to focus on the big turtle. And we're going to create a classic tween. Now what a classic tween does, it is able to move an object in a straight line, and that's about it. To do that, we use 3 steps. So first of all, I need to right click on this particular layer, the big turtle layer. So I right click, and step 1 is choosing the tween. So step 1, choose the tween, and I've gone and chosen a classic tween. Step 2, move the timeline. Step 3, move the object. And you'll notice that the dots turn to a straight line. Now, I want to make it move, or to see it move, so I can click the play button here. Or I can press the key on my keyboard, return. And so we're able to do that. Now, because I've gone and got some movement, I can edit this movement. So I'm going to bring my timeline and I can pop it anywhere I like. I'll just put it there. And I'm going to go and click on the timeline. In fact, I didn't really need to move my timeline at all. I can just click where I want. And the timeline will go there. Right, so what I've got is this. Up comes ease, and I've got the edit ease. Now this is something that you can go and have a play with, but I'm just going to click on that, and we can see that we've got frames from 0 all the way up, or from 1 all the way up to 60. And if I click on this line and drag it, it will talk about how essentially how quickly an object will move, whether it be forwards or backwards. So I'm going to move that there. I'm going to click again, and I'm going to bring this down here. And then I'm going to click here. I'm going to bring that to there. So here it will go to 40 and it's going to go backwards. So let's put it to about there. And I'll do one more click and we'll go to there. Right. Let's click OK. Bring it back and let's see what we've gone and done by simply working on with the edit pencil. So we can now, by having gone and done that, by having used the edit easing, been able to show that although the turtle is going to be moving along this plane, it's not moving at a diagonal, we can get the turtle to move forwards and backwards and at different speeds purely by playing with the lines here. Let's have a look at it one more time. Press return. Okay, now in your time, and you can have a go with the little turtle. Go and have a go at creating a classic tween and using the edit easing or the pencil easing. And we've got that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm still going to hide the little turtle because that's your one to use in your time. And I'm going to get rid of this particular motion tween. So I'm going to go right click and I'm going to remove the tween so we're back to where we were. This time, and in fact I need to make sure that everything is gone. So remove this tween and remove the keyframe. Or clear keyframe. Okay, so we're back to here. Now then, what I want to do now is I want to use a different type of motion. This time I'm going to use a motion tween. But to create it, I do the same thing. I'm going to right click. I'm going to not use the classic tween. Let me just remove that. I'm going to use the motion tween. So I've chosen. Step 2, move your timeline. Step 3, move your object. Now, right from the start, you'll see, if I were just to press return, it would be currently doing the same thing, moving in a straight line. But what we see here is, which is different, is this dotted path. Let me show you what we can do with this dotted path. I've got my selection tool and I'm going to go up to my dotted path and you'll see behind my selection tool a little curve appear. I'm going to put a curve in the path. Okay, let's see what happens now. Press return and you'll see that our object follows the line of the curve. I could just as easily have turned that curve this way. Now you'll see that our turtle is going to be going off canvas. So if we were to publish this, the turtle would disappear and then appear again. So I'm going to put him down here. Okay, now then, we can do more than just one curve. We can use the sub-selection tool. And I'm going to click on either the beginning anchor point or the end anchor point. It doesn't really matter, but just go and click. And what appears are these handles. Right, I'm going to move a handle. I'm going to drag it and I've got that. And I'm going to move this one a little bit further down. And you can see immediately that I've gone from one big curve to two curves. Let's see what that looks like. So this time I'll just press the play button here. It doesn't matter if you're using the return button or the play button. Let's just go and do that. Click. Okay. Now we've gone and got 2 curves, but we can do more. Now that I've gone and got 2 curves in, I'm going to go back to my selection tool. And you'll find that each one of these dots are editable. So I'm going to pick a random dot and I'm going to go and drag. I'm going to go and pick a random dot and drag. Pick a random dot, drag, and a random dot, drag. Right, let's see how erratic that is. Let's press return. And you can see that it's very erratic. Now, I said earlier that you can either do this, press the play button. You can press the return button. But if you want to create a published file, a SWF file, you're going to hold the command button down and press return. And you'll see that this published file will simply keep repeating itself. Okay, so in this video, what we did was to show you how to use a classic tween and how to edit that tween, and how to use a motion tween and how to add extra curves and edit each one of those dots on the motion tween path. Have a go at that. Use the small turtle to practice as well. And as a little challenge, see if you can get the big turtle and the little turtle to weave 2 or 3 times before they reach the end. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.